Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a 7-time Emmy winner and recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award, Oprah Winfrey.
When I was asked to present my friend Barbara Walters with this year's Lifetime Achievement Award, I immediately said yes. After all, who's going to turn down Barbara Walters? Who would dare turn down Barbara Walters? But more importantly, who could turn down the honor and the privilege of saluting a true television icon? Barbara, before we take a look back at your exemplary career, here is another good friend who could not resist saying a few words to you. Barbra Streisand.
Congratulations, Barbara. What a lifetime, and what a special body of achievements. I take pride that I was half of your very first show, and that I was in such good company. You remember, President-elect and Mrs. Carter? I can actually trace my life in the 5 interviews I've had with you. In fact, I was so tired of you badgering me about when and if I'd get married again, I did it. Now, what about you? Love and congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Streisand. Now, let's take a look at why Barbara Walters has been a star for nearly 4 decades.
Barbara Walters endures, and she gets better and better and better.
Are you sorry you didn't burn the tapes?
Yes.
I just wish I was as thin as she was.
Barbara Walters, daytime, prime time, all the time. What a life she has. Barbara's career in television began in 1961 as a writer on The Today Show. It was clear even then that Barbara Walters was special.
We forced our staff writer, Barbara Walters, to go to Paris to cover the fashion openings.
I mean, it was so trying that I took absolutely the very last plane I could to get back here today. I did a story on Playboy bunnies. I had a Playboy bunny school. I had the whole outfit, the whole getup, which I might not be able to do today.
Quickly elevated to reporter at large, Barbara did a great job with the fluffy Today Show girl pieces.
I enjoyed seeing you as a bunny. I did.
When tragedy struck, Barbara was sent in as a hard news reporter.
My first day live on the air, I can never forget.
These are the honor guards who have been guarding the casket of President Kennedy. If I feel or seem a bit choked up, it's because I have just left the last guard.
And I think that was the first time that there was, I don't know, perhaps a feeling that I could cover other things.
There was no stopping her.
Today, the women in China speak of their total equality with the men.
Before long, she was traveling the globe on the trail of important stories.
I don't let my social life interfere with my professional life.
And after 10 years in 1974, Barbara is named the first female co-host of The Today Show.
We continue now with Barbara Walters' exclusive interview with...
Barbara basically laid the groundwork for everybody that you see in the mornings now in a co-anchor position.
Today's woman, Ms. Barbara Walters.
And in 1974, Barbara Walters was the first host of the first daytime Emmys.
Oh, I know what's going on during the day, but tell me, is there anything on at night?
Another first for Barbara, not for women only, changes daytime television.
It's a subject that's not for women only.
Can you do it?
Yeah, I think it's funny, too.
Okay.
1976, Barbara Walters moves to ABC, becoming television's first female network news anchor.
Thank you, President Sadat, for being with us.
Opening the door for generations of women to come. Her Barbara Walters specials become the most successful interview specials in the history of television.
I am fat.
I didn't want
I
to
can
say
hardly
it.
get into any of my clothes.
You think I'm getting jiggy with it?
You exude
You made me so proud.
jiggy essence.
Since 1984, Barbara has co-anchored ABC's 2020, seen by millions every week.
Do you guys remember when you first learned about sex?
Well, I didn't learn about sex until I started to do this show, and now I know more about sex than I ever wanted to know.
Just 3 years ago, Barbara Walters returned to daytime as co-host, co-executive producer, and the driving force behind The View.
What is Barbara Walters really like? She's Barbara Walters.
Who puts 4 big-mouthed women as their co-hosts?
Along with a cast of 4 very different and very special women, Barbara has changed the playing field in daytime again.
It took a woman like Barbara to say, well, this is not a hen party.
You know, she's absolutely, unbelievably inexhaustible.
She asks questions that none of the rest of us could get away with.
Mr. and Mrs. Ramsey, did either of you have anything to do with the death of your daughter?
She's interviewed every president since Richard Nixon, and possibly a future president, too.
Governor, are you smarter than Al Gore?
Plus 20 heads of state.
Do you drink too much?
Yep.
Kings, comics, stars. When they sit down with Barbara, something magical happens.
You are always like this, Barbara.
Do you feel funny crossing the Bay of Pigs with an American?
Yet you're not certain that your wife can govern as well as a man?
But always, what Barbara reveals are real people with real problems.
That you wanted to die.
Yeah, I suggested maybe I should just check out.
Everybody trusts this woman, and there's a reason for that. She always told the truth.
Going places we only dream of going, asking questions of the people we want to know. A true original of American television. There is no one like Barbara Walters.
I like my life. I am very grateful. I am healthy and happy. It's a good time of my life, and it's a very happy period for me.
Two to tango, two to tango, two to really get the feeling of romance. Let's do the dance of love.
Had there not been Barbara Walters, surely all of the other women who have followed in her footsteps, including myself, could not stand where we stand and do what we do in this industry today. Anybody who knows me knows the story of how I started out in television trying to be like Barbara. Walk like Barbara, talk like Barbara, sit like Barbara. I soon found that only Barbara could be like Barbara. This living legend paved the way for us with such grace and with such courage that it makes me proud to spell my name, woman. Ladies and gentlemen, Barbara Walters.
To you. Thank you. I am so very appreciative. First, my gratitude to all the friends who spoke on my behalf, and to the other Barbara, I'll let you know when to buy your bridesmaid's dress, but don't hold your breath. And Oprah. I have a daughter named Jackie, and to my knowledge, the only person she ever wrote a fan letter to is Oprah. And no wonder. Thank you, dearest Oprah. A Lifetime Achievement Award is pretty grand stuff, and it could make you feel awfully old, a lifetime. Until I remembered that I presented this award to Oprah 2 years ago, and she's just a kid. I have been blessed with a life I never expected. And helping me up the steps of the ladder over the years have been hundreds of people. And tonight I can thank just a few. In particular, thank you, Hugh Downs, for all our happy years on Today in 2020. To Victor Neufeld, executive producer of 2020, years of gratitude. And to Rue Knowledge, who helped to make everything possible. I don't think I realized until I started The View how important and influential daytime television is to so many people. We are family, and we consider you family. But whoever thought that The View would really make it? Well, Pat Philly Crushell did. Angela Shapiro, the head of ABC Daytime, did. And David Weston, head of ABC News, encouraged us. Our chief, Bob Iger, and our #1 fan, and he truly is, Michael Eisner. And then there is our superb View staff, the producers and the staff, the crew, everyone.
and my co-executive producer, Bill Getty. The View would not exist without him, nor would my specials. And finally, my love and gratitude to 4 wonderful, smart, funny, and noisy women of The View: Meredith Vieira, Star Jones, Joy Behar, and Lisa Ling. I'll share this with your kids. I mentioned my daughter, Jackie. I also had an older sister named Jackie, who was what we would call today mentally challenged. She was slightly retarded, and she had a lonely life. Television gave her many happy hours. She passed away a few years ago, but she would have loved The View. And today, May 19th, would have been her birthday. For all these reasons, with delight and enormous pride, I thank the Academy and all of you for this award.